bet you clicked on this video craving some kind of self-validation. Also, this is why I haven't achieved anything. It's because I'm too smart. I hear so many people talk about their intelligence like it's a curse, using their wit to come up with every excuse under the sun just to protect themselves from the terrifying truth that they are in fact just as ordinary as everybody else. You might be thinking, huh? So many people, like who? Well, me. I'm the people. People work so hard because they aren't smart enough to realise that life is actually just meaningless. Look at all these idiots working so hard. Well, according to my calculations, the chances of succeeding are so low that it's not even worth me trying. I'm just gonna do nothing. It'd be stupid to actually bother trying in life. You may be thinking, bro, what the hell? None of this even applies to me. In which case, man, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have come at you like that. My fault. But if you can relate by any stretch of the imagination, first off, man, again, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have insulted you like that. My fault. And secondly, please feel free to just watch me call myself out in front of, to be fair, the 3 people that will probably be watching this video. So, just a bit about me. I was a gifted kid. I always got good grades in school, but I never studied. I always just spent my time playing video games and watching anime and all of that cringe stuff. Now that I think about it, it might have been a special kid rather than gifted. Well, anyway, people would always tell me things like, oh, you're such a genius, oh, you don't even have to try. Oh, that means you're so much better than all the people who are actually studying and actually working hard and putting effort in. So, well, as you can imagine, as a young boy hearing all of that, that will inflate your ego. It will get to your head and expectedly you will start to believe that. So I started believing that I was better than all of the other normies who worked so hard. So the problem is, in order to actually start thinking these things, you need to start perceiving people as below you in order to protect yourself from the truth. The truth, of course, being that you're not any more special than anybody else is. You're just different, because everybody is different. You might be very naturally intelligent, but if all it takes is a few compliments for you to start deluding yourself into thinking that you're some kind of superior being who transcends the mere folly of mortal men, then the truth is you're just as stupid as everybody else is. Because that's the only way you can fool yourself so easily. The brain might sound all fancy and stuff, but it's basically no better than a monkey sitting at a control panel, just pressing different buttons hoping to get a banana or something. Well, anyway, I recently watched Mob Psycho 100, and honestly, I've never been so called out right from the beginning of an anime, just from the bop of an opening. If everyone is not special, maybe you can be who you want to be. So the main character, Mob, which basically just means background character in Japanese, was somebody who was genuinely born gifted. So Mob was born with incredibly strong psychic powers, and despite this, he never ever lets that define who he is as a person. So instead he shuts that side of him away because he realises that it has the potential to harm other people. So despite Mob having powers that separates him from 99% of the population, he remains such a relatable character throughout the entire show. In fact, I've never actually seen such a relatable character portrayed in such an absurd anime, in such an absurd world. And believe me, it is absurd. Rather than focusing on his power that makes him stand out, he instead focuses on his weaknesses and looks at how far he has to go in order to improve. This is because he doesn't see the value in power. To Mob, power means nothing. So when Mob's at school and he has to decide what club to join, he doesn't just go for the psychic club, even though he's already got strong psychic powers. He instead he tries to join the body improvement club, which is literally the best representation of a group of gym bros that you're ever going to get. So when he joins this club, he works as hard as he possibly can just to improve his body, for just a simple goal. So what's important to Mob is working hard to better himself, so that when he gets to see the results of that, it really means something to him, as opposed to just some powers that he never asked to get in the first place. The importance is in the work. It's in the effort that Mob puts in to achieve what he achieves, not in his natural ability, not in what he's inclined to do and inclined to be. So as much as I could relate to Mob's innocence, there was something that vastly separated me from him. And that was that no matter how much I pride myself on my brain, or my emotional intelligence, or maturity, or anything like that, it was that this silly, adorable, drip-lacking, bowl-cut-having, fictional teenage boy who was limitlessly more mentally and emotionally strong than I'll ever be. And that's because he was strong enough to not fall for the trap that people have fallen for since the beginning of humanity. And that's that your abilities do not dictate your value. Your muscles don't make you stronger than somebody. Your intelligence doesn't make you more capable than somebody. Nothing makes you better than another human being, just different. So the minute that you start looking down on others is the minute that you start falling for your own brain's trap. So for others it might be different, but for me, my entire life I've had this huge fear of failing. How could I, the most smartest, most wrinkly-brained boy in the world, ever fail at something that he puts his mind to? How could someone as special as me not live up to my potential? So that's when the excuses start. That's when I start trying to think of anything to hold myself back from doing anything that I want to do, just to protect myself from ever failing. Because the problem is, when I fail, that's when I realise that I'm not as smart and capable as I thought I was. I'm not so much better than everybody like I thought I was. I'm not that special. And it's all that damn monkey's fault. Patting yourself on the back feels good, and as soon as you get a reason to do that, that monkey in your head is going to become obsessed with chasing that feeling. It's going to do everything it can to hold on to it and never jeopardize it. All this does, however, is lead us further and further away from anything that we've ever wanted to do. It shields us from taking any of the risks that we've always wanted to take and pursuing any of the challenges that we've always wanted to face. And after seeing Mob handle his power so humbly, so honestly, and with so much integrity, that finally gave me the courage to do something I've always wanted to do and finally pursue something and risk hurting that delusion I've had in my head of superiority and putting everything on the line for the risk of failing. I have always wanted to have my own YouTube channel, and after years and years of hiding behind that fear, I present to you my first video. If you made it this far through, thank you so much for watching. I genuinely hope you enjoyed, and hope even more that you were able to take something away, even if that's just that Mob Psycho 100 is one of the greatest animes of all time. I don't really know the direction I want to go in with this channel, so perhaps I could talk more about anime, or maybe I could play some video games. But whatever it is, if there's anything that you'd want to see, just let me know in the comments down below. So if you'd like to see any more from me, I'd be really thankful if you could subscribe. It's scary putting yourself out there like this, but I gave it my best shot. So I really hope you enjoyed. So thanks a bunch for watching, take care.